as it was told. Oh, the queen of the south will rise and say, she came for wisdom far away. But greater than Shalom is here. The word made flesh, standing near. I will do the will of Yahuwah. That's who I wanna be. Not just a hearer, but a doer. Let your word take root in me. Every breath and every heartbeat, every moment I will see that those who walk in your truth, Yahuwah, are family. Clean my house, sweep my soul, fill it Ruach HaKodesh, make me whole, let no unclean thing return again. Seal me in your perfect plan, your mercy greater than judgment's flame. Your love endures, your truth remains. And when the storms around me fall, I'll hear you say, this is my call. I will do the will of Yahuwah. That's who I'll always be. Not just a hearer, but a doer. Your spirit lives in me. Every breath and every heartbeat, every moment on my knees, I'll sing your praise forever, Yahuwah. For you set me free. Yahuwah, make me like that good tree, rooted in righteousness. Let every word and every thought bring honor to your name. In the fields of mercy, I don't need calls again. Come and work in my vineyard, children of men. From the morning light till the setting sun, Yahuwah's word is never done. Not for glory, not for pay, but to hear his voice say, well done today. The last shall rise, the proud bow low. Yahuwah's mercy overflows. Yahushua, lead me through, teach me to serve and walk in truth. Your love's my wage, your grace my due. Forever Yahuwah, I labor for you. The proud ones grumbled when the day was through, but Yahuwah's kindness made all things new. For my reward is not by your might, but by my goodness, my mercy, my light. He gives the same to the first and last, 'cause his promise stands, his truth won't pass. So I'll serve with joy, not seek my name, for Yahuwah's glory, not man's fame. To be great is to bow down low, like the Hamashiach taught long ago. their eyes were open, and their hearts could see that the pen of Adam came to set them free. Oh, Yahuwah, your mercy reigns, you lift the weak, you break our chains, your Ruach moves where hearts are true, you make the old things new. I shall rise, the proud bow low, Yahuwah's mercy overflows, Yahushua, lead me through, teach me to serve and walk in truth. Your love's my way, grace my due, forever Yahuwah, I lay before you. Oh Yahuwah, make me small that I may serve and hear your call from the vineyard gates and skies of blue. Forever Yahuwah, I'll work for you. Oh Yahuwah, you scatter the sea. Your word falls on hearts indeed. Some on the rock, some on the thorn. But your light brings life reborn. Let your word grow deep in me. And on high I believe. Let your truth take root and breathe. And on high I receive from the smallest seed to the greatest. Let all nations sing. Baruch be Yahuwah our King. Your reign is like a treasure found, hidden deep beneath the ground. I'll sell it all to make it mine. Your reign eternal, pure, divine. Let your word grow deep in me. And on high I believe. Let your truth take root and breathe. And on high I receive from the smallest seed to the greatest. Let all nations sing. Baruch be Yahuwah our King. When the harvest angels come and the wheat is gathered home, I want to stand among the true, bearing fruit that honors you. Like living in the woman's toe, your spirit works unseen, it grows, till every heart is filled with peace, and your righteousness won't cease. Let your word grow deep in me. And on high I believe. Let your truth take root and breathe. And on high I receive from the smallest seed to the greatest. Let all creation sing. Baruch be Yahuwah our King.
Shabbat Shalom, beautiful family out there. My name is Jason.
I'm Caden. I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah channel. And this is our itty bitty tiny little ecclesia that we have out in the middle of these jungles. And we are absolutely Baruch. We are blessed with your guys' presence. There is no better time than when all of us can come from all the four corners of this world that we are in, and we can celebrate our Shabbat. This is one of the appointed times that is a weekly appointed time. It is one of these appointed times that every single one of us have an opportunity to spend a little bit of time with our Creator on a day that is literally pointing the way to our Creator. And so, my friends and my family, I thank you very, very much for being a part of this and for hanging out with us. We love you all. We hope you enjoyed the music a little bit. This is stuff that has never, ever been put online before. It is stuff that we've been working on. And we're about to put together a nice little compilation called the Torah Radio Network, which will be going out at some point next week on a couple different channels. And it will just be hundreds of songs that have no copyright on them, and their praise and their worship. And it's really, really hard to find music out here, especially where we are presenting, because every music that is out there, everybody wants to do a copyright strike. And so if we're sitting here doing a lesson and we're reading scriptures and somebody copyright strikes us, then they start serving these filthy, disgusting ads that you find on YouTube all over, and all this horrible stuff that we are trying to keep our people away from. And so, guys, that is coming in the future. But for right now, shalom and much love to all of you guys out there. Cade, will you please open us up in prayer?
Heavenly Father, thank you once again for this Shabbat. We thank you for the day you have set apart. We thank you for this rest, the day you have given us to recharge, to rejuvenate our bodies, that we don't have to work 7 days a week, that you knew so much, that you knew we needed a day of rest. And we ask that it is a blessed day, that it is a sanctified, anointed day. We ask that your Ruach is upon us today as we dive into your word, as we read the scriptures that you have given to us. We read the Torah, we read the words of your Son. We thank you for all you've blessed us with. Thank you for this family around us. We thank you for the people that are here, willing to learn, willing to listen, and willing to observe your Torah. We thank you for all. In Jesus' name, amen.
All right, Jade, will you please Shema our brothers and sisters?
Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is one. You shall love Yahuwah Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your might. And these words I am commanding you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And shall bind them on the side on your hand, and they shall be a furnace between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates.
Yeah, and I think it was Ann that was in here talking about reading traditions of men, and how the Christian religion is all about one side of a coin, right? When we have a financial currency called the kingdom, it's essentially it's a way forward, right? It's something that you can't take the inscription off one side of a coin and expect to be able to get in, because it's something that in the Torah walk, our Messiah is a part of the Torah walk. If you just have a Messiah but you don't have a Torah walk, then why do you even need a Messiah? And that's the kind of questions that religions such as Christianity can't answer for us, right? They have a Messiah. They know all about the grace. They know all about all sorts of different things, but yet inside of the same scriptures that they're supposed to be followers of a Christos, of a Hamashiach, they fall very, very short. Because when you look at the words and the ways of our Messiah, Yahushua, there were no J's in Hebrew, so I'd like to use the man's Hebrew name, which is Yahushua. It is very clear that our Messiah kept the Torah. He walked the Torah. That was part of his walk. He didn't come to reinvent the laws of his dad. He didn't come to bring a whole new set of doctrine to us. What he did is he came to clarify the current Torah that we have. And the Torah that we have, that we're just about to read here in just a little bit, is something for all generations. It is a blessing, yet it's not a curse. But when you look at this religious construct of satanic doctrine that is all over, that you'll have Jehovah's Witnesses at your door, you'll have the Seventh-day Adventists at your door, you'll have the Mormons at your door, you have everybody at your door. And they all have this way to salvation. And their way to salvation includes some kind of altar call. It includes some kind of asking a guy named Jesus into your heart. And after that, there's nothing more. in their religion. They don't have a moral set of doctrine. They don't have a beautiful set of Torah. But yet when we have the Torah, it becomes something for our life. It becomes armor. It becomes a sword. It becomes our weapons. It becomes our defense. It becomes everything. It's an offensive and a defensive measure that when you understand the Torah, you are not led astray like a sheep going to the slaughter. You're not going to sit there and just bah as you walk right into the gates of hell. Because when we know the Torah, we know how far all of us fall short. We understand this. And all of these accusers that are in these religious systems that are always, oh, you think you're better than everyone else because you keep the Torah. We all know who keep the Torah that that's not why we keep the Torah. It's because we realize how far, how short we come from actually living up to the expectations that the Torah does. And when we see the walk of our Messiah, when we see how our Messiah walks and we hear his words, we realize how un-Messiah-like we can all be and how much every single day is a new walk with the Torah. Every single day is a way that we can adjust and align and make our lives better according to what the Torah did. And it is because of the grace of our Creator and his Son and the mercy that we have a high priesthood. We have a Melchizedek priest. We have our Messiah, who will not only be of the president and the ruler of all these things in the Shamayim, of the kingdom to come, but he's also the one that gives us the best authority on how we should be living it, what we should be doing, things that we shouldn't be doing, all of this. And so, guys, when we read things, this Shema, where it says we need to understand that we need to love our Elohim with all of our heart, with all of our being, with all of our might, that is called loyalty. That is called giving back to our Creator, who has absolutely already given to us everything that we need. Everything we need for this civilization, this world that we are in, the ability to breathe, the ability to think, the ability to see, the ability to use our fingers to walk through these lands and to navigate. This is what we've been given. So when we give a tiny bit of loyalty back by doing the very best thing possible that we can do, which is to keep this Torah, that's what it's all about. These laws, statutes, and commandments were built that we have an opportunity to walk the foundational guideposts of our Creator's laws. And when you reject these laws, don't expect this magical rapture school bus to come along. Don't expect words like welcome, you who are loyal to the commands of my Father. It's going to be depart from me, you who are lawless, you who are Torah-less. So it's very important that all of us figure out this Torah walk, and it's something that most people don't find. When you look at the scriptures, most people do not find the Torah. So with that, Ms. Nicole, will you please shout out our brothers and sisters, both now and in the future, when you guys come down this road?
All right, so we have Joanna with Chris. We have Sue, Danny Boy, Ann, Sarah and William, Razul, Josh, Brandy and family, Brian, Robert, Sister Barb and family, Sylvia, Rich James, I'm still scrolling, Trish, Mama CA, Sandra, I think that's everybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize.
All right, beautiful, beautiful, much love and shouts out to everybody that is out there. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now is we are going through these beautiful laws, these statutes and commandments, and this, what we're about to read, is a free app. You guys can download, you guys can get it free of charge. Mr. Cole, if you'll pop a link in there. Currently we're in 2 languages, and hopefully by next week we will be in 3 and possibly 4, and we also have our 5th one that is almost done as well. So the people out there worldwide will actually be able to actually get the Torah commands, unlike they've ever had. They've never ever had an app like this that literally lists out the Torah commands. Prior to these days, the Torah has been something of a mystery because people just didn't really know how many commands are in the Torah. But yet what we're about to read right now is we are reading the beautiful life-filling, life blessing Torah commands that all of us have been told to understand, to walk with, to think about when we get up, to think about when we go to bed. It's all a beautiful thing. And so, guys, let us get right here into our Torah. And here we are. Commandment number 1 is to be fruitful.
Command number 2, multiply.
Replenish the earth. Subdue it. Have dominion over the fish, fowl, and every living creature.
The herb bearing and every tree is for food.
Man and woman should build their own families.
Master sin. Every clean moving thing that lives shall have food for you.
Do not eat the blood.
Walk before me and be perfect. Guard Yahuwah's covenant, laws, statutes, and commandments.
Every male shall be circumcised at 8 days old.
Teach your children the commands and guard the way of Yahuwah.
Remember Yahuwah's name for all generations.
Keep the Passover, Pesach. Keep the feast of leavened bread, festival of Maandiko.
And, for the guys that are in the chat right there, when you're talking about the Old Covenant and the New Covenant, when you actually look at the definition of the Old Covenant and you look at the definition of what they call the renewed covenant, right? It's the same thing. It never ever changed, right? The only thing that we have with the Old Covenant is that we botched it. All of our forefathers, all of our foremothers, everybody, they decided to walk against the laws, the statutes, and commandments. But when you look at these two covenants and you put them side by side, it's the same. If you will be obedient to my laws, to my statutes, to my commandments, I will be your Elohim, and you will be my people. So nothing ever changes, right? The thing about the renewed covenant, when you read from Hebrews 8, is that the renewed covenant talks about it's a future tense thing, right? It talks about you can go to your neighbor and you can say, hey, what do you guys think about commandment number 51? And they're like, oh man, I love this one. And you guys, every single person that you talk to that are participants of the new covenant, that are participants of the kingdom to come, are going to know all about these commandments. Nothing's going to be foreign anymore. The same things that when we start telling all these so-called people that, supposedly love a God with all their heart, mind, and soul about these commandments, and they give you that look in their eye, and it's either the zombie look, it's either the look of anger, or it's like, you're crazy, right? One of those looks is the one you will usually get. But what you don't get is you don't get acceptance. You don't get a single bit of understanding of why doing what the creator of the universe has told us to do is not only in your best interest, but it is in the best interest of your soul. If you are here to protect your soul, if you value hanging out with righteous people versus living in desperation and despair and darkness, then it's best that we do what's in the Torah. Because I don't know about you guys. I don't want to hang out with these people that I look around, I see the world, I see the politicians, I see this part of the world of despair where people do not have a scriptures, they do not have a Torah, they do not have anything, they have a religion. And this religious system has them all confused and everybody's saved and nobody's ever going to not be saved because that's just what tickles the ears and makes everybody happy, happy, happy. Continuing on, where we're at, guys.
There's one Torah for the stranger and the Hebrew.
Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah.
There are no mighty ones before Yahuwah.
You shall not make graven images.
Do not bring Yahuwah's name to naught.
Keep the Shabbat. Honor your parents.
Do not kill.
Do not break wedlock. Do not steal.
Do not make false accusations against your neighbor.
Do not covet anything of your neighbor's. Do not make an altar from rock that the tool is touch.
Do not go up the altar by the steps.
If a man steals cattle, he shall restore it 5 times. Yahuwah's laws for criminals.
Do not lie with beasts.
No sacrifice to other gods. Do not oppress the stranger, fatherless, or widow.
Do not charge your brother interest.
If you buy your neighbor's raiment, return it to him before sunset. Do not curse the ruler of your people.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast.
No false report. Do not follow multitude of evil.
Do not judge righteously against the poor.
Bring back your enemy's cattle if you find it going astray. Help the animals of your enemy.
Stay away from rumors and gossipers.
Take no bribes. Do not oppress a stranger. Love the stranger.
Give your land rest in the 7th year.
Do not mention any pagan names. Keep the feasts of Yahuwah.
Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk.
Obey the messenger Yahuwah sends before you. Do not bow down to other Elohim.
Serve Yahuwah.
Make no covenant with Elohim or outsiders of the land. Do not make use of anointing oil on an old person. Do not make use of perfume on an old person.
Do not eat the fat.
Do what you say you are going to do. Return what is your neighbor's.
Obey Yahuwah's dietary laws.
Women's time of separation. Obey Yahuwah's hygiene laws.
Keep the Day of Atonement, Yom HaKippurim.
Do not uncover the nakedness of your family.
Do not take your woman's sister for wife.
Do not lie with the woman in her uncleanness.
You shall not sacrifice your children to Moloch. Do not be a sodomite.
Be Kodesh.
Do not reap corn to your fields, or you shall not glean your vineyard. Do not deal falsely or defraud your neighbor.
Do not lie or be a liar.
Pay your workers for the day's wage they are due. Do not harm the disabled.
Do not endanger your neighbor.
Do not hate your brother. Rebuke your neighbor for his sin.
Love your neighbor as yourself.
Do not divert your cattle. Do not mingle your seed.
Do not mingle linen and wool.
Do not lie with a taken woman. Do not eat the fruit of the trees for 3 years.
Do not practice sorcery.
Do not round your beard or the corners of your head. Do not cut yourself for the dead.
Do not get tattoos.
Do not prostitute your daughter. Do not defile your temple.
Do not consult the medium.
Respect your elders. Have correct weights and measures.
Do not walk in the manners of the nation.
Give feast of first fruits, Shavuot, Omer, Pentecost.
Keep the Feast of Trumpets, Yom Torah.
Keep the feast of Sukkot, Shemini Atzeret. If you blaspheme the name of Yahuwah, you shall be put to death. If you kill your neighbor's animal, you must give him another.
Repay injury for injury.
Honor the Yovel, Jubilee year. Confess your sins to Yahuwah and repay you have trespassed against.
The law of being a Nazir.
Wear zizi on the four corners of your garments. The laws of whoever touches a corpse.
Follow Yahuwah's law of inheritance.
Torah of keeping your oath to Yahuwah. Do not add or take away from the word.
Guard your soul.
Learn to fear Yahuwah. You shall love Yahuwah with all your heart.
Bind the laws upon your hand and the frontlets between your eyes.
Write the laws on your doorposts. Do not tempt Yahuwah.
Do what is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah.
Do not be afraid of your enemies. Remember Yahuwah.
Circumcise your heart.
Cleave to Yahuwah. Swear by his name.
Destroy graven images.
Do not make an idol of Yahuwah as the pagans do to their Elohim. Rejoice in all Yahuwah has blessed you with.
Do not do what is right in your own eyes.
Do not hearken to the words of false prophets. Do not make any baldness between your eyes for the dead.
You shall not eat any abominable thing.
You shall give to a stranger clean food that died itself, but you shall not eat of it. Give the tithe of your increase of seed year by year.
Laws of the end of the 7-year release.
Do not borrow from the nations. Do not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from the poor.
Guard month 1 of Yahuwah's calendar.
3 times a year, all males shall appear before Yahuwah. You shall make judges and officers in your gates.
Do not plant Asherah poles near the altar.
There must be 2 or 3 witnesses. Hearken unto the prophet Yahuwah has chosen.
Prophetess of Deuteronomy.
Do not remove your neighbor's property line. How to deal with a false witness among Torah keepers.
The first child is double portions.
If your brother's cattle or clothes are lost, and you find them, you must return them. A woman shall not wear what pertains to a man, nor a man wear what pertains to a woman.
If you find a bird's nest with the mother and the babies or eggs, take the babies, but not the mother.
If you build a new house with a flat roof that has ever lived on, you must put a railing around it. Do not be a prostitute.
Do not use dirty money.
Torah of divorce. Do not take a person's millstone for pledge.
If you lend to your brother, do not enter his house to get your payment. He must bring it to you. Return his clothing before sunset, if that was his pledge.
Do not oppress a hired servant as poor and needy. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin.
Do not go back for the forgotten sheep in the field. Leave for the stranger, fathers, and widows.
Do not muzzle your ox when he treads out grain. If your brother dies and has no child, you take his wife and name the firstborn after your brother.
At the end of 7 years, you are to read the Torah at the Feast of Sukkot, Feast of Tabernacles.
See, when you look at these laws, statutes, and commandments, how hard are they, right? Don't hate your brother. That can be tough, right? A lot of us get into these situations, right? What about don't harm the disabled? Does anyone have this tendency to go kick the crutch out from some dude walking down the road? We're supposed to spit on those people that are sitting across side the road. You know, all of these laws, these statutes and commandments have been put before us as a way that we can understand how the heart, mind, and soul of our Creator functions. And when you look at these laws, these statutes and commandments, they're nice. They're great, right? When you look at the laws, statutes, and commandments of Hasatan, do as thou wilt. Enjoy your life. Whatever you want to do, right? Live it up. It's your best life now. It is so much different and in so far in opposition to the actual commands of our Creator that it's not too hard to understand when people are keeping Torah and those who are not, right? We are not supposed to look the same as the rest of the people out there, right? We don't have the same inclinations. We don't have the same community that we hang out with, right? We're absent at a lot of things that a lot of people go like, why aren't they celebrating X, Y, and Z, right? You have all of these things that are out there. And, I saw you guys mentioning a little bit about Halloween. And, here we are into one of the most satanic, if not the biggest satanic, holy days. And we're not talking Kodesh holy, we're talking about Holly. It is a satanic time of year. Yet we're all stuck in captivity, right? We are all these people that are waking up outside of when we're in captivity, and we're just looking around us and going, wow, this is all satanic. And once your eyes are opened, it's hard to go back to sleep, right? It's no matter what you want to do, it's not something that you just can't go back to sleep. And if your eyes are open to the point that you can literally see the world that's going on around you, and you're not hooked into this live vision programming garbage and all this mumbo jumbo and all this fake stuff that's out there, then our Creator has come and has opened your eyes and has given you the spirit of wisdom and discernment. And you guys can understand this. Okay, so guys, let us get into this. We are into Deuteronomy right here. Jade, will you please give us a breakdown of where we were at prior to this, please?
So we are ending our trip in the desert. We've been wandering around for about 40 years in this desert. These people have sinned, and Moshe is recapping the times they've sinned. They were gone astray, they've come back. They've angered him. They got him kicked out of the promised land because he disobeyed Yahuwah as well. So last chapter we got the chapter with the Shema and the commands, and he says every word in the Torah you need to obey. Every single word that Yahuwah tells you, you need to obey. And you guys need to do it and do every single law that he's commanded you, or if not, bad things are going to happen. So we are now after that, and he's still telling us what to do when we hear the word of Yahuwah.
And, guys, I think the hoax on us is where people have said Old Testament, right? Oh, that's the Old Testament, right? Who actually labeled things old and new? When you take off your culty style vision that we've all been programmed with, it becomes clear that this is a testament. It is the full testament, right? It is not an old, it is not a new, it is a full-on testament. What you're reading, what we're about to read right here, is literally a breath of life. It is some of the most exciting reading in all of Scriptures. Deuteronomy, when you look at this book, it is a recap of 4 other books that are put together as just remember this, guys, right? We're told we have to wake up to this and go to bed to this. And we're told that the Torah is part of our daily life as we're hop, skipping and jumping around this world, as we take a 5-minute breather at lunch. Part of our thought process is the Torah. Part of this is that every single thing we do must go through the lens of the Torah, or we don't do it, right? If there's ifs, ands, or buts, if it is something that we just don't think that our Creator and His Son are going to be very happy with, right? Let's look to the Torah. What do we have in historical facts? What do we know of in the Torah? And the Torah is one of these things that there's only 160, 158 commands or so, but when you look at them, they can expand out a tremendous amount, right? Lots and lots of things, like just the do not hate your brother. Think about how this expands out. It's not just that, right? There's many ways that we can hate. There's many ways that we can carry on aggression, or many ways that we can damage ourselves and damage those who are supposed to be brothers and sisters to us in these things. And so it's just not a black and white statement. It's something that when our Messiah came, he definitely expanded on the Torah and helped us out to understand a tremendous amount. So here we are, guys. Deuteronomy, Devarim 7. When Yahuwah your Elohim brings you into the land which you go to possess, he shall also clear away many nations before you, the Kittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Kiwites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than you. And when Yahuwah your Elohim gives them over to you, you shall smite them and put them under the ban completely. Make no covenant with them and show them no favor. And do not intermarry with them. You do not give your daughter to his son, and you do not take his daughter for your son. For he turns your sons away from following me, to serve other mighty ones, then the displeasure of Yahuwah shall burn against you and promptly destroy you. So guys, this is one of these things that we have, that we are not to intermingle with the nations, right? All of a sudden you find this, for guys out there, you find this really beautiful woman, and all of a sudden your morals drop, your life drops, you drop the Torah, and all that matters is you trying to get with this chick, right? And all of a sudden this chick is celebrating Christmas. She's celebrating Easter. She's celebrating all this stuff, and you know that this is against the laws, the statutes, and commandments of our Creator. Goes for the same girls, gals out there that are always sitting there trying to find the guy, right? Always, there's lots and lots of people that are always come on this channel that are racing to find a mate for themselves, when in fact your entire mate, and this is all part of the hand of our Creator, and it's not going to be just some random happenstance that you're out there doing whatever. It's going to be that the hand of our Creator brings the right person to you. And so when we start hanging out with those people and those families and these people just to fit in, all of a sudden we're fitting in far more than we should ever been fitted in, right? All of a sudden we go from peculiar and set apart to just the way of the Gentiles. And so we have to be very, very careful that this particular verse in Deuteronomy applies to all of us today, right now, with how we conduct ourselves. 5. But this is what you do to them: break down their altars and destroy their pillars and cut down their asherim and burn their carved images with fire. And as you can see, guys, we're in a different day, right? I mean, imagine us walking into a Catholic church with this same command, right? Oh my goodness. Break down their altars, destroy their pillars, cut down their asherim, burn their carved images with fire. Right, the entire, and it's every religion, right? You start with the steeples outside, you start with all the pagan crosses, you start with all of this stuff. It's all pagan. If we were in a Kodesh land, this command is huge, right? We do not let those who are breaking the laws exist amongst us, which is why it was a big thing. People didn't understand why our Creator had the people of Yisrael destroy all of these broken DNA cultures, all of these people that had all these foreign mighty ones, right? The second you let this stuff exist, it grows. It grows with propensity. 6, for you are a Kodesh, a set-apart people, to Yahuwah your Elohim. Yahuwah your Elohim has chosen you to be a people for himself, a treasured possession above all the peoples on the face of the earth. Yahuwah did not place his love on you, nor choose you because you were more numerous than any other people, for you were the least of all peoples. But because of Yahuwah loving you, because of him guarding the oath which he swore to your fathers, Yahuwah has brought you out with a strong hand and redeemed you from the house of bondage, from the hand of Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim. And you shall know that Yahuwah your Elohim, he is Elohim, the trustworthy El, guarding covenant and kindness for 1,000 generations with those who love him and those who guard his commands, but repaying those who hate him to their face to destroy them. He does not delay with him who hates him. He repays him to his face. Now, the key word in verse 9 is 1,000 generations. Now, I don't know what generation we are at right now, but I guarantee you we're not at 1,000. We looked that up before. Do you guys remember what generation we're at? Guys, we're talking 1,000 generations. It's literally forever, right? We're in hundreds and hundreds of generations. We're not thousands of generations that are out there. So for 1,000 generations, we are told that we need to guard the covenant and have regard for the laws of our Creator. So even if 1,000 generations has come and has gone, there's still good things to do, right? Why would you not want to do the good instructions that you've been given, even if we're 10,000 generations later? There's to be no reason that you would want to eat corrupted food. There's no reason you would want to eat swine or all of this unclean food that people of today eat, and they call it food. It's not even food. So we need to understand that his laws are forever until heaven and earth pass away, and heaven and earth is still around us. Continuing on. And you shall guard the command and the law and the right rulings, which I command you today to do them. Again, there's no expiration date on this, right? This is forever and forever and forever and forever. These same words that Moshe is telling the people, that Yahuwah told him to tell them, it's the same for us. We need to guard the command and the laws and the right rulings, which are being commanded that day. They never end. And it shall be because you hear these right rulings and shall guard and do them, that Yahuwah your Elohim shall guard with you the covenant and the kindness which he swore to your fathers. And you shall love and barak you and increase you, and shall barak the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your land, your grain and your new wine and your oil, the increase of your cattle and the offspring of your flock in the land of which he swore to your fathers to give you. Again, right? What do we need to do? How do we make this kingdom? What does the kingdom path look like? We need to guard the laws, the statutes, the right rulings that we have been given. And when we do this, we are on the right side of history. We are on the right side of the kingdom road, because we don't want to be in the hand of Hasatan. We don't want to be blessed by the hand of Hasatan, which he does. He very clearly blesses those who are in servitude to him, and he call it blessings or call it earthbound curses, whatever it is. He absolutely can do all of this. And so we want our blessings, we want our baruka from the creator of the verse, and not the second-hand citizen Hasatan. 14, Baruch, blessed are you above all peoples. There is not going to be a barren man or a barren woman among you or among your livestock. And I find this very fascinating, right? Because we live in a land right now, a world right now where the abortion clinics are just raging. Abortions have been, since Roe versus Wade and all of this other stuff in the States. Just it's a worldwide death cult. And it's the attacks have always been on the unborn. The attacks have always been on those who silently scream, can't defend themselves from any of this stuff. And here, according to scriptures, right, if you have a child, regardless of your life, it's a blessing, right? It is something that is absolutely a blessing. 15. And Yahuwah shall turn away from you all sickness and put on you none of the evil diseases of Mitzrayim, which you have known. But he shall put them on all those who hate you. And you shall consume all the peoples whom Yahuwah your Elohim is delivering over to you. Your eye shall not pardon them. And do not serve their mighty ones, for that is a snare to you. When you say in your heart, these nations are greater than I am unable to drive them out. Do not be afraid of them. Remember well what Yahuwah your Elohim did to Pharaoh and to all Mitzrayim. The great trials which your eyes saw, and the signs and wonders, the strong hand and the outstretched arm by which Yahuwah your Elohim brought you out. Yahuwah your Elohim does so to all the peoples of whose presence you are afraid. And Yahuwah your Elohim also sends the hornet among them, until those who are left, who hide themselves from you, are destroyed. Do not be afraid of them, for Yahuwah your Elohim, the great and awesome El, is in your midst. And Yahuwah your Elohim shall drive out those nations before you, little by little. You are not allowed to destroy them at once, lest the beasts of the field become too numerous for you. But Yahuwah your Elohim shall deliver them over to you and destroy them with a great destruction until they are consumed. And he shall give their sovereigns into your hand, and you shall destroy their name from under the Shamayim. No one is going to be able to stand against you until you have destroyed them. The carved images of their mighty ones you are to burn with fire. Do not covet the gold or silver or gold that is on them, nor take it for yourselves, lest you be snared by it, for it is an abomination to Yahuwah your Elohim. And this same commandment right here, right? This is Saul failed. I mean, all these kings of old, everybody failed on this, right? They saw all the great stuff. Instead of destroying it, they decided to take it and keep it, and all of these commandments were broken. This is why we need to become a obedient people, an obedient world is what we're looking to be. 26. And do not bring an abomination into your house, lest you be accursed like it. Utterly loathe it and utterly hate it, for it is accursed. All right, guys. So what we want to do real quick is I want to go over a real quick while we're going between the Basora and the Old Testament. I want to read a letter from a gal real quick. And this gal is she's a mother of 5. She's a single mother of 5, and she's a single mother of 5, and these are the babies, and she is about to have baby number 6. And so right now, her husband is in jail. She's doing everything possible to keep these kids and not allow them to get taken by the state. And I don't know how she does it. I honestly have no idea how she does this, but she's a beautiful family. She wrote me a letter, and I wanted to read it to you guys because, from what you guys know of us, Boss Clan, there's no way to donate to us, right? We've never ever said, hey, you pull up a tithe or do any of this stuff, or here, come fund our lives, or come do something, give me some new teeth or something of the sort. It just doesn't happen. And so we're very, very, very cautious when it comes down to asking people for help out there. And so this is the only place I know that there are people of Yah. And, I put this out on the community post before. And it seems like everybody was telling this gal, don't worry. But nobody helped her out. And I was very, I don't know what the word is. I don't think upset is the word. I was just dismayed that there were so many people out there that are just sitting there unwilling to even throw in $5 to a little itty bitty tiny family that's out there. And so, guys, let me read this. This gal's name is Rose, and she has 5 children right now, about to have number 6. She goes, "Shalom, brothers and sisters. My name is Rose, and I'm an abuse survivor trying to get situated with my children. I'm divorcing my abuser, who is currently incarcerated. We've been left with no money and his debt. I'm trying to save up for my own rental, as we're currently living with non-believers, and it has become a very stressful situation. Good people, but there is that element of the world and not of Yah in this house. The initial cost to drop is really hard to realistically come up with. I'm working odd jobs right now and will be able to maintain and pay monthly rent, but would like any and all help getting it secured. My goal is for $2,000. And when I was going over it, I don't know if that's even going to be enough. Her monthly rent for this new place she's trying to get into in November is $700. And so when you have first month, last month, the deposit, I don't know how this is actually going to do this. So she said, what an absolute blessing it would be to reach that and take some of the strain off me as I navigate the last few weeks of this pregnancy with baby number 6. And I'm juggling the rest. I am trusting in Yahuwah and keeping my faith, but I can't help but find myself spiraling into a depression and struggling with this reality and situation. Please help my children. I have a place to call our own. Thank you." And so, guys, I don't know how she does it, right? I don't know how my wife and I did it, being together and just having kids. So when we are an assembly of our Creator, if you're looking for a place that you need to be confident that something good will happen, I believe this is it. And so before we get into our next reading, guys, if you can't do anything other than just pray for this beautiful family, please pray that Yah will financially help them get from point A to point B. And us simply doing absolutely nothing, it's not an answer. It's just not an answer. And I realize a lot of us go from hand to mouth every single day, every single week, every single month. But when we have an ability to do anything at all, and we can do this, guys, isn't this what our Messiah was always talking about? All right, let's get into our reading real quick, guys. Definitely keep Rose, our beautiful Rose, and her family in prayer, that she is able to find a house and is able to do something with these kids. And may Yah forbid that those of us who don't lift our hands into this and she falls into the hands of the state. One thing you learn from the book of the Nazarene when you read it is that everything we do, everything, whether it's good or whether it's bad, that has an effect on others, will be up for us in the day of accounting. And so thank you guys. Appreciate you all. And you guys know that we never ever toss stuff out to donate to people, things like this. So thank you. All right, here we are. We are into the book of Yochanan, one of the coolest, best books, I think, in the Basora. They're all good. I really like them all. But John is a brand new part of this. Jade, will you please give me a breakdown of our first 3 books of this?
We get through the gospel. We get Messiah's birth, his lineage, the struggles, and then he goes and meets John the Baptist, or John the Yochanan the Immerser. He ends up becoming immersed and baptized in the water. Yahuwah says, "This is my son, who I'm well pleased." He goes and collects disciples. He finds people that he finds trustworthy. They work with him. They live with him. They go traveling everywhere teaching. He heals people that are sick, people that are blind, just a little everything. He helps. He teaches. He makes a lot of powerful enemies with Pharisees and Romans. And he ends up at the end getting crucified because they are afraid of him and he goes against their traditions. But after 3 days, he rises up and he fulfills the prophecies.
Absolutely. Okay, so here we are. Some of the most, this is an incredible chapter, incredible read. So let us begin discussing this, my beautiful family. Yochanan, John 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim. He was in the beginning with Elohim. Now, when we, I realize that there is a huge division in the world of those of us that are Trinitarians and those of us that have come out of the Trinity place. And I remember back in the days, this was one of the verses that everybody that was trying to prove the Trinity was sitting here like, look, it says in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim. This just proves that Messiah Yahushua and Yahuwah are the same individuals. Listen, it's like this. When I ask my kids that if their dad is Jason, they would say I am, right? And they're not saying I am as in I am that our Creator is. When our creation was created, it is very clear that our Creator and His Son were together prior to creation. When you read the Apocrypha, and you read it very closely and very slowly, it is very, very clear that the Torah was made before our creation was ever created. And so it wasn't that heavens and earth were split apart and land was formed and all this stuff came out and then Messiah was born and then the Torah was born. It's that all of this existed in the world and in the community that they have prior to this. Now, we can speculate and say our Messiah is 1 billion years old to understand. We could say maybe, but we don't know anything about time. All we know is that one day seems like a long time, and back in the days, Adam had 1,000 years. And that was probably a really long time. But we don't know what the hand of our Creator is. We know 1,000 years is a day to our Creator. And so when our Creator's Son was with his dad, they grew up together. Our Messiah grew up under the hand of our Creator with the Torah that was already formed. So when our Messiah is the Word, that's exactly what it is. It's not that he is our Creator, but that he is the Son of the Creator. Now, there's been a lot of dysfunction with this Trinity gig. It's just those people, even Torah-based people, will sit there and they will say things like, according to the Catholic Church, this is why it is. And the only reason that anybody ever thought that there was ever such a thing as a Trinity is because of the Creed of Nicaea. The Catholic Church, the entity, the synagogue of Satan, the doomsday people, they are the ones that did this and tricked everybody, and everybody has run with the ball on this. Right? But the problem is when you run with the ball with the Trinity, you're going to the wrong end of the goal. You're going to your own side, and you're only going to score a safety. It's not going to work out. Nothing is going to work out for you because it's very, very clear that the deity of our Creator, he's a jealous Elohim. He does not share his deity with anyone. His son is his son. When we're talking about Abraham and Isaac, when we're talking about our Creator and Hasatan doing a test with Abraham having to sacrifice his son, it wasn't that our Creator asked Abraham to go kill himself and make a thing. It was that he must go sacrifice his son. Now, this same thing that our Creator asked Abraham to do is the same thing that he did do, and he went through with this. This is why this is so imperative to understand all of Scriptures from the beginning all the way to the end. And when our Messiah says over and over and over that he is not the Father, that he comes in the name of the Father, that he is doing what his Father instructed, you can't have a Messiah that says he's not the Father when he is the Father, because then that makes him a liar. And we know if he was a liar, then he wouldn't be a perfect sacrifice. The reason that he was a perfect sacrifice is that because he didn't fail the Torah. He did not sin against the Torah. And when you do not sin against the Torah, then you have become a perfect sacrifice, which is, if he was a liar and was not what he said, then that would be a problem, because none of this would make any sense at all. So we have to get rid of this hoax of the Trinity. We have to get back to Scriptures and understand, where did this come from? Why do we have this in our doctrine? How did it get in our doctrine? What powers that be did what to get people to believe this? And why do they believe this? Well, they believe it because it's much easier to have a father-son combo, right? And everybody's like, well, when Messiah died on the cross, that was the creator of the universe. He just died on the cross. The creator of the universe died by the hands of a creation that he created. It didn't happen like that, guys. It did not happen. 3, all came to be through him, and without him, not even one came to be that came to be. In him was Kai, life, and the Kai was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. There was a man sent from Elohim whose name was Yochanan. This one came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all might believe through him. He was not that light, but that he might bear witness of that light. He was the true light, which enlightens every man coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world came to be through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the authority to become children of Elohim, to those believing in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the desire of flesh, nor of the desire of man, but of Elohim. And the Word became flesh, and pitched his tent among us, and we saw his esteem as of an only, brought forth of a Father, complete in favor and truth. Yochanan bore witness of him and cried out, saying, this was he whom I said, he who comes after me has become before me, and because he was before me. And out of his completeness we all received, and favor upon favor. For the Torah was given through Moshe. The favor and the truth came through Yahushua HaMashiach. No one has ever seen Yahuwah, the only brought forth Ben, who is in the bosom of the Father, he declared. Now this was the witness of Yochanan, when the Yahudim sent from Jerusalem Kohanim and Levites to ask him, who are you? And he confessed and did not deny, but confessed, I am not HaMashiach. And they asked him, who then are you? Eliyahu? So he said, I am not. Are you the Nabi? And he answered, no. Therefore they said to him, who are you? So that we give an answer to those who sent us. What do you say about yourself? He said, I am a voice of one crying in the wilderness. Make straight the way of Yahuwah, as the Nabi, Yeshayahu said, as the prophet. And those sent were of the Pharisees. And they asked him, saying, why then do you immerse if you are not HaMashiach, nor Eliyahu, nor the Nabi? Yochanan answered them, saying, I immerse in water, but in your midst stands one whom you do not know, the one coming after me, who has become before me, whose sandal strap I am not worthy to loosen. This took place in Bet Abarak, beyond the Arden, where Yochanan was immersing. On the next day, Yochanan saw Yahushua coming toward him and said, see, the Lamb of Yahuwah who takes away the sin of the world. This is he of whom I said, after me comes a man who has become before me, for he was before me. And I did not know him, but that he might be revealed to Yisrael. Therefore I came immersing in water. And Yochanan bore witness, saying, I have seen the Ruach coming down, Shamayim, like a dove, and remain on him. And I did not know him. But he who sent me to immerse in water said to me, upon whom you see the Ruach coming down and remaining on him, this is he who immerses in the Ruach HaKodesh. And I have seen and had witnessed that this is the bin of Yahuwah. So right here we have one of the witness statements And, when it comes to Torah, we know that a matter is established based upon witnesses, right? That's how a man could live and die, based on Torah, right? Somebody's committing adultery. Some guy goes, hey, I saw this, and my neighbor says I saw this. These people, the man and the woman, would both be taken outside the city gates and killed, right? So we have in Scriptures things that are witness statements. This is one of them. This is John the Immerser, Yochanan, that says, I have witnessed that this is the Son of Yahuwah. Now, in the witness world that we are into, if this was not the Son of Yahuwah, but this was Yahuwah, then John, Yochanan, was lying to us. His witness is invalid. So all of a sudden, all of the Torah that we knew about witnesses is absolutely destroyed. How could we ever believe anything in Scriptures when you can't believe this? So when you have John the Immerser saying that this is the Son of Yahuwah, we must take this witness as doctrine, because it's not only this, because we have Kepha, we have Peter, right? The rock. He says, who am I, right? You are the Son of the Most High. So we have multiple witnesses in multiple books that are determining that this is the Son of Yahuwah. We don't have anybody that's telling us this is Yahuwah. Oh, we have the creator of the universe has come down and he's pretending to be his son, but he's not his son, but he is his son, right? Can you see how crazy this sounds? 35. Again, the following day, Yochanan was standing with two of his Talmidim and looking at Yahushua walking, he said, see, the Lamb of Yahuwah. And the two Talmidim heard him speaking, and they followed Yahushua. And Yahushua turning and seeing them following, said to them, what do you seek? And they said to him, Rabbi, which translated means teacher, where are you staying? He said to them, come and see. They went and saw where he was staying and remained with him that day. Now it was about the 10th hour. Andre, the brother of Shimon Kepha, was one of the two who heard from Yochanan and followed him. First he found his own brother, Shimon, and he said to him, we have found Hamashiach, which interpreted is the anointed. And he brought him to Yahushua, and looking at him, Yahushua said, you are Shimon, the son of Yonah. You shall be called Kepha, which translated is a stone. Where they end up with the word Peter, I have no idea, right? All of these English words, we don't even actually know the name of these guys, but this is, one of the benefits of Yah Scriptures is that I think we're much, much closer than, the crazy stuff that they've translated this stuff out of. 43. On the following day, Yahushua wanted to go to Galilee, and he found Philippos and said to him, follow me. And Philippos was from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Kepha. Philippos found Nathanael and said to him, we have found him whom Moshe wrote in the Torah and the Nevi'im, Yahushua of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. And Nathanael said to him, is it possible for any good to come out of Nazareth? Philippos said to him, come and see. Yahushua saw Nathanael coming toward him and said to him, see, truly a Yisraelite in whom is no deceit. Can you imagine having Yahushua say that and be that's the first thing he sees? Can you imagine walking this walk to where that is what our Messiah says? This is what we want to do, right? We want to come into the throne of our Creator and His Son with these kind of acclimates, right? With these kind of things that these guys are saying, because that is a huge thing. 48. Nathanael said to him, from where do you know me? Yahushua answered and said to him, before Philippos called you, when you were under the fig tree, I saw you. Nathanael answered and said to him, Rabbi, you are the Ben of Elohim. You are the sovereign of Yisrael. So, same chapter. We have two different witnesses. In this, we have the second witness of our Messiah, Yahushua, being the Son, the Ben, right? There's no mix and match. This guy, Nathanael, didn't go, you are Elohim. You are Elohim Most High, right? He didn't say that. He says, you are the Son of Elohim. So in Scriptures, you can't jump to conclusions. You can't say that a poorly translated version of something and you say, well, Elohim and his son are the same thing. It doesn't work like this. It is very important that we get the deities figured out and who we should be worshiping and how. Continuing on. And the Trinity thing goes worse, because people will be praying to our Messiah, right? They'll be praying to the Ruach HaKodesh. we see these guys all the time, Torah-based channels that tell people to pray to our Messiah. We don't have anything in Scriptures anywhere that says to pray to our Messiah. So when you believe that the Messiah and his dad are the exact same entities, all your prayers, where are they going? Are they falling on deaf ears? Same like the Catholics, right? They all pray to Mary. Where do all the prayers of the Catholics go? Continue on 50. Yahushua answered and said to him, because I said I saw you under the fig tree, do you believe? Greater than that you shall see. And he said to him, truly, truly, I say to you, from now on you shall see the Shamayim opened, and the messengers of Elohim ascending and descending upon the bin of Adam. So if you want to use Messiah as your own witness, in this chapter alone, we just had 3 separate witnesses that gave us the answers to, is the Trinity legitimate or have we been deceived? And again, people are stuck on where did it come from, right? Just the other day, I had a gal and she was going off on this about this, and she was sending me nothing but church stuff. It was all from the Catholic Church. When you look at it, it was like, well, this church father here says this, or this church father here says this. I don't know how to break it to people. I'm not interested in what the church fathers ever had to say. I could care less what man had to say. Just like when people are, well, Paul said this and Paul said this. Well, if Paul is going against what we know of as the Torah, then I don't give a darn what Paul said or what you think Paul is trying to say. Because we have one Torah, and that Torah is good yesterday, today, tomorrow, and forever. It's good to get us out of this world into the next world, and it's the qualifications that all of us must have. We can't have a Messiah with no Torah. When we have a Torah without a Messiah, then we're missing a critical piece of the boat. But at the same time, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they all had a Torah without a Messiah. They didn't know anything. They knew Messiah was coming, but it wasn't during his time. So there's a lot of discussion to be had on this, and it's a lot of it is with prayer and fasting. You know, I don't know how to get people through the hoaxes. When people learn things, it's like people still think we went to the moon. It's just what do we do? Continuing on, here we are. We are into the book of Khalidi, the book of the Nazarene, chapter 2. I hope you guys are enjoying this reading. I'm enjoying this reading today, definitely. Somebody give us a breakdown of the first book of the Nazarene as I get caught up on comments here.
So Yahushua was born, and he would talk about the foreigner Yochanan, and Yahushua went and grew up, and he went to the scribes and the elders, and he was learning. They were amazed how he was learning, how he knew what he knew, and that he was the guy that, he was this young kid, and he was smart and wise as the learned teachers. And his parents came and got him. He says, I have to be here to learn the stuff of my father. And everyone was confused, but Mary kind of had an idea of what was going on. So, that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, and Joanna hit it right, brother. We're to pray to our Father. Absolutely, that is good.
About donating to Rose.
Yeah, donating to Rose.
We don't want people doing
Yeah,
Shabbat.
yeah, we're not telling you. We're not mentioning. There's the GoFundMe is in there. Do it after Shabbat, right? We're talking about buying and selling, and I agree. I see Sue in there was talking about this. There have been times in our lives where there's absolutely nothing we can do other than we have to go do something on a Shabbat, and we feel very, very bad about it. But we're not in that position, right? I don't think there's going to be any difference between right now and, in a few hours when darkness hits. And so, don't break a command doing good, but please don't forget about this beautiful little family, right? I would feel very, very, very bad if we didn't do anything and, there was an opportunity for people of Yah to be able to help this beautiful gal. So that's why I put it on Shabbat. We don't do a lot of videos anymore, but this is the place that I know my family is. The ecclesia is out there. And so just pray that Yah will indeed seek the needs of this family and give her the very best possible shot that she has at this. Okay, the book of Khalidi. Let's go on to this. We'll see. These are meaty verses. So let us get in there.
Sandra has a question. Was the Messiah in the house on the Sabbath?
Was the Messiah in the house? He's in the house. I don't know. What do you mean by that?
I'm not exactly sure.
No, he's I don't. It might be a crazy question. I don't know. I don't know what that means, dear Sandra. He's in the house, but as far as I don't know. To work among pagans and the ocean. Yeah. Okay, yeah, beautiful. All right, let's get into this, guys. The Book of Khalidi. And there's so much meat and potatoes to this. You could read this book over and over and over and never, ever get enough of it. It's good.
She
All right.
means how we stay in the house on Sabbath. Is that what Messiah did?
I don't know. No, he moved
I don't think
around.
he was always doing stuff in like Parochial Pharisees.
Yeah, he was moving around. There's a difference, when we're having a day of rest. Most of the places back then were like very close, walkable places, right? If you were having a meeting, say back in the Deuteronomy days, you would probably all just go into 4 or 5 people, families went together in a tent, and that's your assembly, that's your little ecclesia, everybody getting together. Far as that is, I don't think it's a problem. I don't think it's a problem taking a walk or doing things. Messiah definitely, they were definitely walking through some fields, during Messiah's time. So, if our Messiah is our example, and a lot of times, especially in like Judaism, things like that, they get completely crazy with it, right? Ripping your toilet paper before the Friday night hits, so you rip all your toilet paper. I mean, that's one of the roads we went down long ago when we didn't know anything about Torah keeping. And you don't know, so you just start following blind guides, and that's the problem. Yeah. I don't know so much going on walks. I mean, if you're doing like a 25-mile hike up into the mountains or something like that, that's probably something, you're not resting, right? Always consider what the Torah command is, right? And for us on Shabbat, it's about rest. And whatever you're considering, is rest, something that's not the same thing you do every single day of the week, then yeah. And I mean, we used to go on walks on Shabbat. Messiah went on walks. I don't see anything in Torah that says we shouldn't. Okay, here we are, guys. Joseph died when Yahushua was a youth. Pops just died. At that time, working as a craftsman among the Kenites. And one of the things about the Book of Khalidi is that we get so many different details that we didn't get the rest of this stuff, right? We didn't know exactly when Joseph died. We do know he died, but we didn't know when or how. 2. After Yahushua had been away a long time, he returned to the house of his brothers. One day, while he worked under the shade of a tree, they came to him and said, "Out in the wilderness by Yarden, there is a man who cleanses people by immersion in water. He claims strange knowledge and calls himself the forerunner. We are going to see what he teaches." Yahushua said, "I have heard of these things, and surely, as the son of our forefather Yahweh prayed to be cleansed of his secret faults and presumptions, the sons of our father should not stand aloof from cleansing. I will go with you." The brothers of Yahushua said, "This man is called Yochanan. He heralds the coming of an enlightener, who will be an all-wise instructor in goodness. He himself does not bear this new light, which will dispel the darkness in men's minds. He tells of one who will grant men the privilege of becoming children of Elohim, awakening to eternal life, Kai, that part within them, not born of earthly desires." So Yahushua and his brothers went out seeking Yochanan, finding him beside the Yarden, at the place of crossing where there was a pool. The hairs of the head of Yochanan were already white. Yochanan, seeing Yahushua among these, gathered about him and said, "Look, all of you, here he is, a man in whom there is no guile, the true Lamb of Elohim, the one we await. For Sethel, sending me forth to immerse, instructed me thus: when you discover a man worthy to be the receptacle of the Ruach HaKodesh in abundance, the same shall you acknowledge as the enlightener." What's funny here is that we just made it through the book 1 of the first chapter of John, and we don't time any of this stuff. We're just doing stuff as it goes, and scriptures sometimes will pat other scriptures on the back, and this is one of these ones, right? Because we just read this, right? We just read about this guy being the immerser, and John said something very interesting. He goes that he was told that when a man is worthy of this kind of power, that this is the receptacle of the Ruach HaKodesh. And here we actually hear of a guy's name, for Sethel, sending me forth to immerse. We hear about a guy that we've never ever heard about, that is John the Immerser's essentially his teacher or somebody of the sort. And so that was the guy that just told us about the last chapter in John 7. Hearing these words, Yahushua joined with those to be cleansed. But when he stood before the forerunner in the water, Yochanan said, "You have the greater powers of cleansing than I, yet you come to me?" Yahushua replied, "The power to cleanse and revitalize with the Ruach is not in men, but in the Ruach which fills man." Important, each should be allowed to do whatever he is called upon to do. Yahushua asked of Yochanan, "What do you know about me?" Yochanan said, "Years gone by, I had a vision of 3 lights in the Shamayim, and as the sun sank, so they rose. A flame of fire went up over Jerusalem, and smoke filled the Hayekel, the temple, and a star fell down into Yehuda. The meaning I know, for it was this: the deliverer is born, and woe unto the house of Herodes. Woe to you, scribes, and your interpretations of the Torah." The one that appeared and stood over Jerusalem was a child planted into Bethlehem, from out of the heights of Shamayim, as was foretold, and it was a Nabu. He would be the deliverer. And it was Nabu. It was prophesied. He would be the deliverer. The fire that burned was the fire of a strange altar. I prophesy great to you. You are the true Ben of Elohim. Soon you will see the glory of the Shamayim revealed, and the power of the Ruach HaKodesh will be poured out upon you as a stream of pure water. The time has come to proclaim yourself. Shalom, shalom on you, whom our Elohim has chosen as his messenger, for you will proclaim the true Basora. Strengthen your heart, for the road ahead is steep and stony. No man is hated so much as one who tries to point out defects in character and attitudes and seeks to guide men along the path of right and beneficial living. Then Yochanan took Yahushua down to the river and immersed him. And he was overshadowed by the Ruach HaKodesh and became fully filled with his power. So his face glowed. And the people wondered and were bewildered, for they did not understand. Yet the face of their forefather Moshe had also glowed after he had been in the presence of the Ruach HaKodesh of Yahuwah. Yochanan said, "Go and wait upon the mountainside nearby." Later Yochanan went to join Yahushua and told him that he was the anointed one, but should not yet make this known to the people. Then Yochanan prayed thus: "We give thanks, O Yahuwah, with souls purified through realization of our misdeeds and Ruach reaching upward to commune with you. It is by your power alone that we have seen the light of truth manifested to know the secret of your hidden name. In humility we call you by the name of Father, because you have shown us a father's compassion and kindness, and because we know you chastise and discipline us after the manner of a father. You have granted us freedom of activity, that we may enjoy the baraka, the blessings of Kai, of life. We have been saved by the waters of your affection. We approach you as the only good and great being, asking only that we be united with you in the waters of the Ruach and never separated from the source of Kai." Okay, this might just be a Trinity breaking reading that we're doing here, right? You have John the Immerser, Yochanan the Immerser. You have our Messiah, and then you have a prayer that is prayed by Yochanan. And in fact, when he starts off with his prayer, he goes, "We give thanks, O Yahuwah." You have Yahushua standing right next to you. Why would he ever pray this up there? Why didn't he just say this to our Messiah if Messiah was the creator, right? So there is so much scripture that dispels and breaks this entire Trinity that we have to seek our creator to break the curse. If you are under the curse of this Trinity and this is what you believe, I'm not throwing rocks at you, because I understand we all come from a certain place, but at the end of the day, it is very important that we do figure out the divinity of our creator. And it's very, very important. 17. This is how Yochanan testified concerning these events. On the day that the Ruach outflowing from Elohim came with a great surge of power, I did not know this man from others. But seeing him, I recalled what I had been told by those who gave me power to cleanse with water. They had said, when you find so filled with the power of the Ruach HaKodesh, he can hardly contain it. You will know him for one who will immerse with the cleansing power of the Ruach HaKodesh. I have experienced this power and testify that this man is the true Ben of Elohim. So now we either have Yochanan, who's either a filthy liar, or this guy's extremely deceived, or he's telling us the truth and that this is the son of Elohim. Never once does he go, this is Elohim, right? Never once. We have to understand what Scriptures is saying. We can't take this one scripture out of Isaiah and go, well, this means that Messiah and his son are the exact same thing. It does not work like this. There would be too many other lies left open that this book would be a liar's fable book. And I don't buy this. I have never found a lie in these books and inside of these texts that would say I don't feel that there's truth. This is why I live by the Scriptures, is because this is the only place in the world we find truth, right? We do not find truth anywhere else except in Scriptures. And even then, they've taken the name of our Creator and they've changed it 7,000 times. Over 1,000 times in the New Testament, they changed the name of our Messiah. So we have to make sure that our texts are correct. 18. Yochanan left Yahushua on the mountainside where he stayed 3 days fasting and communicating with the powers above. Well, if he was the powers below and he was still, it doesn't make any sense, right? Messiah is sitting there praying, and he goes away to pray all the time. Who's he praying to? If he is the Creator, doesn't he just think in his head versus praying? None of that makes any sense in the world of the Trinity. Then he went back to the riverside. Yochanan was standing with the two of his Talmidim. Yahushua was sitting apart, and Yochanan said to those with him, there is one giving himself as an offering of Elohim, the enlightener of the world and the deliverer of our people. Then the two Talmidim went to Yahushua and said, tell us about your teachings. Shall we follow your way or that of Yochanan? Very interesting stuff coming up, guys. Listen to this. Yahushua said, there is the way of the wilderness, and there is my way, alike in teaching, but calling to different men. What Yochanan teaches accords with the Torah, even as my teaching. Either obey or both, obey either or both, they are the Torah. So this is how to understand things based upon the words of Messiah, right? We're going to hear a lot of different people, a lot of different teachings. Is it correspond with Torah? Do you have guys like Bathrobe Bob that are out there that saying nobody needs to keep the appointed times, right? When you see people, they're like, oh, you can't keep the appointed times because you don't live in the land. He's a false teacher. He's a false instructor, right? It has to abide with the Torah. And sometimes we're not all going to see things right? This is why we have a gazillion different calendars, even for Torah keepers, and none of us can get on the right thing. But are we keeping the appointed times of the Torah, even though we may not get the dates right? That's what we are called to do, right? Obedience. Even if our obedience is that we are ignorant to the actual times and dates, we're still being obedient, and Messiah is going to come and fix this for us. He's going to come and get this. 21. From that day forth, Yahushua had power to heal the sick and to do many things. But he went out into the wilderness bordering Yarden, uncertain about his next move. While there, hungry and thirsty, he fought with the flesh, resisting the temptation to go down among the habitations of men and use his powers for selfish needs. Huge stuff, right? We do not hear stuff like this in any of the other scriptures, right? We've heard about it, how he goes out. We did not realize that from the time that he was baptized by Yochanan is when the fulfillment of the Ruach HaKodesh gave him this kind of power, right? This is something we did not know. Now, something we also find out is that he had to fight against his manly style stuff, right? If you're hungry, if any of us are men, and for those of us that fast a lot and do a lot of fasting, it's easy to sit there and start thinking about food to the point you're like, I'm going to go eat food. That's just the way it is, right? Messiah was obviously fasting. He was doing things, and he could take a rock and make it into a piece of bread, probably the best piece of bread you ever had. He could have messengers deliver him whatever he wanted. He didn't have to do it. He did not have to use his power for selfish needs. Very, very important to understand that this is the Messiah was man, right? If he was something other than man, this would have made it much easier than what he did. And so this is why he was all man, and he is also the Ruach-filled Son of the Most High. 22. The Ruach of Yahuwah, which overshadowed Yahushua, overshadowed the creation. It enlightens outer darkness and bestows Kai, and is eternal. Yochanan was one of those who can see the Ruach of men, and so he knew the nature of Yahushua. These things took place at Beth Araba, which means the place of crossing. Okay, there we are, everybody. That is the end of that. I hope you guys enjoyed that reading. I love that book. Thank you guys very, very much.
We have a question.
Which question we got?
Anne would like to know, can we self-baptize?
You know, that is a beautiful question, man. This is my answer to people when they come up and say, "Well, should I have somebody baptize me?" If you're not dealing with a truly Torah-based individual, I would never let anyone put hands on me, right? I would never let a Christian guy dunk me in the little Christian thing, right? They're going to dunk you, and they're going in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Ruach, the Holy Spirit, right? And in their minds, it's a Trinity-based thing. I don't think there's any power. I don't think there is any power when you let outsiders put their hands on you, and there's always transference of unclean spirits, of unclean things like this. So based upon what I would tell people about baptizing, there's no such thing in scriptures that somebody was able to baptize themselves. But in the world that we are in, you may not find a Torah-based observant person that you feel comfortable with. And why would you have it just be absolutely nothing? So I don't, may Yah forgive me if I answer this wrong, but I would say at the expense of having those who are Gentiles putting hands on you and baptizing you, it'd probably be better to baptize yourself than it would to have anybody else do this. I think it would be more of something. And so I don't know. Maybe you guys pick up the sticks and toss them at me. I don't know. Pick up the rocks. I don't know. Great question. That's an absolutely beautiful question. All right, everybody. Well, we love you all. Jade, will you please bless our brothers and sisters?
Yahuwah barak you and guard you. Yahuwah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. He'll lift his face upon you and give you peace.
All right, guys. Let's do this. Much love, y'all.
Just to live. Yahushua said no 70 times 7. That's how mercy flows from the Shamayim. He told of a servant with a debt so wide. The master forgave, but he turned with pride. Yoked his brother for a debt so small. The master heard and judged it all. Oh, wicked one, I forgave your due. Shouldn't you sincere. Oh, Yahweh, keep me low and true. Let my ruach stay gentle in all I do. Yahweh, teach me how to forgive. Show me how the humble really live. When pride is gone and love breaks through. Oh, Yahweh, I belong to you. Yeah, mercy's the rhythm, forgiveness the song. Yahweh, I've been teaching all along. If you wanna be great, start small and kind. Let Yahweh's mercy renew your mind. Yeah, 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 And the crowd pressed in, and the woman reached for you. Just one touch from your robe, and the healing broke through. When you spoke to the storm, and the waves had to obey, you showed us what mercy means. You still do today. Rise and walk, your sins are gone. The healer is here, his love is strong. From death to life, from fear to song, Yahushua is moving on. You called the broken sinner, dine with him that night. You saw beyond the darkness and filled the room with light. You said, learn what this means. Compassion over show. For mercy is your language, and love is all you know. Oh, we lift our eyes to the Shamayim, where your mercy never ends. You heal the hearts of sinners and call them all your friends. Rise and walk, your sins are gone. The healer's love keeps moving on. From dust to breeze, from night to dawn, Yahushua forever strong. Rise and walk, your sins are gone. The healer's love keeps moving on. From dust to breeze, from night to dawn, Yahushua forever strong.
All right, beautiful friends, family. We love you all dearly, guys. Please don't forget about Rose and her beautiful family. If you guys can help out, please give her a blessing into this. Guys, may Yahuwah bless you and keep you. May his light forever shine on you. May the Torah be a part of your life. May Yahuwah's will be everything in your world. And may we all meet each other in the kingdom to come. Shabbat shalom.